Ascending augments. Everyone really likes that one.
I love how they all huddle on, and then a couple of them went back.
Yeah.
Is it going to be ascending augments? The answer is
Yay.
yes.
I really like this one just for branching out. I feel like there are so many high roll options you can have with it just for the extra emblem play, and it's also a very flexible line.
Oh, branching out's a great silver augment to take. I think we also see a couple of players that try to go a little bit riskier. Sometimes I see players take AFK, just make sure that they're going to be able to get economy to be able to move into the later parts of the game.
I think specifically in the recent meta, we've been seeing a lot more open forwarding. And so that fits into that AFK kind of game plan where you just say like, okay, I'm going to sell board. And if somebody else is also going to sell board, then that is very unfortunate, but it doesn't happen as often.
Yeah, yeah. It could happen once again. We saw Milk going for the multi-striker line already with the ball, and now 60-second Clement. We see some
when you see
shenanigans
Seraphines,
here.
you always pick Seraphine. It's one of the strongest opening lines. And
Do you like Glove? Do you like Glove to start with any comp now? It's a little difficult now.
Oh,
yeah,
early Syndra.
yeah, not really. I like what they did with the Jewel.
They're doing a lot of guard breaker. You remember, Necker, like in
Yeah,
America?
I did see
even
that.
in mages, like guard breaker for tempo in the early game can be an option.
Yeah, mages, it felt like you really like to have the guard breaker because there are a lot of vanguards, there's a lot of tank units that are going to be building up those shields, so guard breaker is certainly one of those ways you make sure that you have enough damage to keep a win streak in the early game.
Title just keeping his Syndra line open. You're going to see a lot of players hold on to Syndra even though their board doesn't really go into that direction just yet.
Could always get a lucky augment out of it, right? We'll see. We'll see what comes around here for our players. We know it's ascending, so we're going to be starting out with silver augments for our lobby 1 here as we are in game 2. And AFK, Necra, you mentioned it being offered there at the very top there.
I like precise planning also. When you just think about some of the silver augments that give you the economy, I think precise planning is great because you know that you're almost always going to be able to hit the benchmark to actually get the gold from the win or loss.
Pandora's for Milk, so he can be able to go
That's
any
also
line that he
big.
wants. He's holding the mages, he's holding also the multi-striker, so double option there for him.
Title here going for precise planning just to get some early econ. And talking about spicy augments, because this is ascending, if we see an open fort player, we could be going for a golden quest, which is our high stakes augment.
That would be fun to see. We saw a couple of those games in some of the golden spatulas that we had, but it's really hard to play because you're waiting a long time to actually be able to hit that gold benchmark.
I
get your
personally
5 costs.
struggle with the math aspect of it, but that might just be a me diff.
That's a skill diff for me also.
We already have our Ari player there for Duo U, so already slamming there the U Gauntlet, getting additional units there, going for the reroll as we used to see it, and holding the Vanguard. So this Vanguard version could also be used in this case.
Yeah, I really like his start. You know, he's going to lose a bit of HP. He has stim packs for the extra chance at tears, which is the most important one in that line. And, oh, this is interesting. So we see a lot of Pandora lines. Let's see if he picks up the Syndra. This is a great line for something like the Cassiopeia line I was talking about.
It can also be a multi-striker. We see multi-striker Ginso, even the Ginso could be on the Ash if you have a 3, but it can also be Ginso Casadin.
You
We
could
saw it
make
a few
Runins
times and it
too.
was pretty good.
Runins is also available. You can make
Yep.
Runins Hurricane for the Ash. This is a build that we see for a multi-shaker reroll.
I think it's good, but if he does it, he has to get the Ash 3-star.
He
So
does.
maybe if he wants to keep options open, so if he gets the Ash, he can do it. If not, they maybe tempo.
Milk played a lot of multi-striker reroll though for the America's Golden
Yeah.
Spatula, so it is a line that he's very familiar with.
Going up against 60-second here, slamming here the
Archangels.
Archangels. So, and he's very close. He has a lot of Seraphine, so we already have our mage player.
Yep, mage spot already taken here. And I just wanted to ask, how highly does America rank Ashe? Because we don't really like playing Ashe. We think it's a fairly weak unit.
I think it's pretty high.
Okay.
I feel like I get a lot of when I get support playing TFT, I feel like oftentimes people are saying like, Ashe is a strong unit to at least be able to like hold items. If you can 3-star her, she's very good to be able to win streak through stage 2 and 3. But then you need to start thinking about other ways to actually cap out the multi-striker board outside of that.
So one lean that I see a lot where players are kind of more inclined to go towards the Ashe is the Category 5 augment. If you get that, then suddenly the Ashe, because of that Runon's Hurricane being buffed up, becomes so much more of a pick that you can look at. I think here in this scenario where we don't have it maybe yet, then we'll hold off on slamming it just now.
Seeing Elia here, so this is the line we already talked about. So the Shoujin slam here for the Syndra, probably going for the reroll. Remember, we have some possibilities. Shapeshifter, it could also be Vanguards. Normally the Vanguard version is the best, and we saw a top 3 from Hwami in the last game, exactly with this line.
Well, he picked the Iron Assets just to get the early tier here, and he could be rewarded. There's also a Syndra with Bow. Bow and tier, usually the 2 most picked items here. Duo Yu is going to get the tier.
Ooh, nice.
There goes Elia. He has it. Oh, there it is. He has the bow. He has the Syndra. Do you slam here static or you wait? Static will be good in the late game and maybe a little tempo now.
I
Makes
think
sense.
you do if you are worried about having a mana generating item. And I think just having the shred is always nice because you know that you're going to need it later.
You can always use the remover on the Syndra to get the static off.
Yeah.
We see that a lot.
Checking in with Elia. He did win the previous lobby. We're going to be trying to find out what was going on there for you guys. But right now, it looks like he's very much interested in bringing that Syndra into play. And I'm personally not surprised. In the spatula, you know, Clement, you were calling him the Fairy King because he was playing a lot of those fairy lines. But we asked him about it, and basically his statement was that he just found himself in good spots for Fairy. He doesn't actually rate it as highly, or he didn't want to play it as much. It was just that the game was really signaling him a lot of, hey, you can play Fairy here.
Fairy definitely is the go-to line if you're in a lose streak situation. You're going to get first pick on Carousel and be able to build out those two Quinsu's Rage Blades. And in scrims, I heard it was the best comp overall.
And in screen for now, yeah, because when we started, like in Golden Spatula, it wasn't prioritized. It was good if you got that spot, but people like tried to go for it or usually play it. Actually, it was not performing well. For example, in America, it was second in pick rate, but the average placement was not very good.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do, though, with the tempo of the lobbies. If you're going to be playing up against a lot of re-rollers, then you might not actually be able to survive to get level 8, level 9, where you can really actually cap out with 2-star Callista, with 2-star Rakan, and Melio. Melio's so important, and you can't really hit him easily.
Well, checking in with Tidal here just for a little bit longer. You were saying, Clement, he's a player that just likes to play for what the tournament format.
Yes.
And I am really curious on whether or not he can actually do that to this high of a percentage that we've been seeing in the stats. So I'm very curious on whether or not Tidal will start ramping up some wins going forward in the later games.
I think he has to, because in this format, it's 8 players advancing to the final day out of 40. Our usual AVP was something like 3.6. It's going to be much higher requirement now.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're seeing with Tidal this line that we haven't seen in the first game, and he's exactly with the condition for it. He has a win streak, he's going for the Frost Hunter Vanguard line, and then he can go for the full Shapeshifter, Fast 9, Fast 10, trying to go for the Briar, trying to go for the Smolder. So very interesting. In the last game, we saw it, but we saw it with Varus, maybe the old version. This is the good version and what you want to see for a Fast 9.
Just a quick call out there. Our overlay showing all players 100 HP. That is unfortunately not possible. So we're going to try and get that fixed ASAP, but just letting you know that we are aware.
I was just going to make a comment about the Frost spot. Because we are playing in an ascending augment lobby, you could get a couple Frost emblems if you were able to get the Frost gold as well as the
only get
Frost
one.
Exotic. Well, I'm just saying.
But you could bet
Still
on the
playing.
Wandering Trainer, which would be very spicy indeed.
I would love to see it. And one of those players, I click it every time. Who was the player that said they do? Was it Araya?
Yeah, it was Araya. Yep.
Araya.
Yeah.
He picks the portal with the high variance, he picks the Wandering Dragon whenever he gets it.
Respectable.
He didn't
I
have
like
a
it.
chance. In the previous game, he didn't have a chance to do it.
We have Title at the top of the lobby and Duoyu at the bottom here with full streaks. So let's see if they continue this one. This is kind of how you reroll these days. You don't go super deep into 32. That's not the magic number. We do 40 now because you also need to buy charms. See, that was across multiple regions.
Yeah, Milk already slamming items here. He's very committed here to that Ash slamming the last Whisper. So he's going for full physical damage here. Let's see if it's enough against Doju. Doju's pretty young. He looks good in the picture.
Yeah, I could tell the person that we were showing was not Doyu.
Yeah.
It was not Doyu. Yeah. Does have to go into the win streak now. So this is the kind of deciding point if he wants to just, kind of commit more to rerolls to preserve his streak or go on.
Well, we are going to be getting our augments here, and of course we know it's golden augments, but are there any high variants? Do we get a wandering trainer? Do we get something like the hero augments coming on through that? For that, Wu Jing's could be interesting, but what can we find?
The golden
for our
quest
players?
was not taken. Okay, I feel good for Americas. Bobster just
Trait tracker being offered, top left corner.
Yeah, see, I was thinking trait tracker. You guys gotta give me more credit on the emblems here. You could get trait tracker.
Yeah, trait tracker is huge here, and Ironbog actually is a big trait tracker player. I'm not sure if he actually selected it, since we are a little bit
Hard
away
to
from the
tell.
screen.
Title got a hunter emblem.
And we already saw the Wu Jing's outperforming everyone with this comp, and this is the win condition. Normally, it's a comp that you can top 4, but if you have the emblem, you can go for the 6 hunter, and we already saw the big strength he has. He already has the Wukong 2 very early into the game. Great spot here for Title.
You took team builder, so you're gonna have a couple of those lesser champion duplicators to make sure that you can get the Ahri and Zoe and all the Bastions online.
Well, a lot of times when you're playing 6 Hunter, you don't actually have to gamble on the Jinx. You can play vertical with shapeshifters, and that actually fits your board a little bit better. Hunter emblem onto someone like the Briar is going to be your cap. Right now, Title doesn't have any bows, so this is going to be the decision point. Can he get a bow, and can he play the Jinx, or does he have to pivot into more of a high-cost line?
Have you seen? We saw a game in the Americas, Jinx without Ginso. He got a good top 4, but you feel the difference. Like she's not pumping up, she's not ramping up in the game, but she does significant damage.
Going to be going into a carousel after this fight. Checking back in with Elia here. Now, obviously, it is 3-3, but you would at least like to have a Syndra too.
And he did roll a bit of a gold for it, judging by his econ.
I feel like that's why maybe Capricious Forage ends up being a good take here. It's just instant value from your augment, helps to stop some of the bleeding if that's been happening. But yeah, you gotta get those Syndras, it's so important.
Where are we looking at? Hang also with the Ezreal Kamikaze, maybe? He has the double crit item there, lacking the healing, maybe something else?
I'm just saying that's the JOC special. I'm not sure how well it works in TFT, though.
We're gonna have a good sample size after this, that's for sure.
Okay.
Well, we're going to be taking stock of the lobby here as we are in that carousel. Title still on 100 HP win streak. Definitely has to be called out. But some of the other players are starting to lose HP, of course. And Hang, Doyu, some of these players that have been on the losing end of things.
Yeah, big find here that the bow is taken away from Title. Ironbog also gets a component for his trade tracker, usually played with the Arcana line. So at least we're denying Title a little bit more leverage. He's kind of running away right now.
Well, that's what you have to do.
Absolutely. I cannot fault them.
Okay, getting
Nice
close
upgrade.
to the border, that's very good. But once again, as you say, it's still with the Syndra one.
Hopping over.
You can do a little bit of rolling here. Does only have one more copy of the Zoe to go, but you're still so many copies away from the Ahri. I really like being able to hold Econ and just try to roll above that 50
I mean,
gold.
he could use one because he's very far from the rest. He's very close to Zoe, so he can use one of the lesser duplicates to ensure at least the Zoe, but the Zoe doesn't have items. So it's like a tough spot here. You want to get 3-star, the one with items.
I think right now, we're not that desperate just yet to do that. You know you have some more rolling to do, so you're kind of banking on finding that last Zoe naturally. I do agree it would be a power upgrade if she had an item, but I think for now this is definitely the right decision. You're just sitting there saying, okay, I'm going to get Econ, maybe wait until Wolves, and hope that by the time I get there, that last Zoe has appeared in the shop.
You can be happy, makes Syndra 2 for Elia. It
Very
costs him
good.
like 40 gold, but he has it.
He has a lot of gold. That's a very
You started so
expensive.
It can be
optimistic.
worse. It can be 40 gold and Syndra 1.
Sometimes you need to invest money to get a stronger board. That's how this game works.
I think a couple boards we need to take a look at this point is title. Can he get that 10 streak in? A big thing is, does he find the Olaf? If he finds the Olaf 6 Hunter, it's very easy.
Also, he has the items for Olaf, so
Yes.
actually he really needs it.
I just want to point out that Duyu is also okay with losing because he had Stim Pack. He did just get those 4 components by hitting that HP threshold, so we should be able to see a good spike come through. He just has to roll after Wolves.
I think title's completely fine. Just looking at his board, it's like, should be okay.
Oh no, Title's great. Title's in a great spot. I was talking about
the
Duyu.
thumbs up says nothing to look at here. We're going to be seeing whether or not maybe that Olaf does come through, what the move is going to be for title. If he says, okay, I'll stick around on 7 a little while longer, I do want to get that upgrade on
Did I
to
jinx
something
it?
like the Jinx.
Maybe.
But yeah, looks like you did, Clement. Good job. That's your first one.
Clement,
That's
prediction.
the second
Once
one,
again.
actually. He said Kula was going to win the first game.
Oh,
said
no,
so.
did you?
Yeah.
Get
I also
out.
said
You're
Stinky
Jinx.
Abuser was close, okay?
Wow.
So what's the position for Han here once again with the Ezreal Kamikaze?
Well, he's contesting frontline.
Don't
once
say
again.
first. Say.
What?
say
3-7 Smolder?
That is insane.
Ooh.
Sure.
Okay.
A little bit of dragon.
I can accept the previous loss thing.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Wait,
We're on
Hunter
course.
Smolder's pretty goated. I know it's not the Briar, which is the cap you're looking for, but Smolder's pretty good.
Yeah, the line actually does play around 2-5 cost. It's actually kind of similar to Dragon Shapeshifter, so he could just play high cost and he doesn't have to hit a bow. And I think the big difference here with Hong Hong is he actually has a secondary carry compared to Kolo here. The way
great
items are
items.
good.
Yeah.
Very
Normally even better than the Morello, gaining additional speed there to cycle the possibilities.
Oh, Milk found a Callista and that final Ash for the Ash 3.
So it's interesting to me that we are kind of playing on this Ash Jax line. It's not something we've been seeing a whole lot, but of course you can go into that if you just find all of those copies naturally and then you're hoping on getting the Kassadin later on. And as I'm speaking, both of these upgrades are being
You
made.
haven't seen it make because he's not playing in EMEA.
I-
We've seen
I've
it so much
seen
in
it
America,
every now and then.
but it's true with very bad results. So this is not the line that normally you
no.
want to go, but the games gives you lemon, you go multi-striker Ash reroll.
I thought it was Lemonade, but I just want to say he's hit, but the tempo is completely wrong. It's way too late right here. He's going to have to rely on a lot of people not having built their anti-heal items.
I think he was a pretty good bet. Maybe not looking at the Syndra board. But Elia's not doing
So
hot.
let me paint the picture here.
He's
We're going to be
healthy.
going into Prismatic Augment next, and it's very important that you keep your wits about you in an ascending
Toolbox,
Augment
toolbox?
lobby.
Golden Egg.
What
kidding.
can we? No, please don't. What can we get from these augments? What's going to be our last kind of power up? I'm seeing a Call to Chaos in the top left corner. That could be interesting. One of those high variance augments that do give us quite some fun every now and then.
That with Trade Tracker would be hilarious, but we have a
Iron
Box board.
Bog.
+1 for title.
He got the rerolls. No, Iron Bog picked Call to Chaos and got infinite
got
rerolls
rerolls.
off of it.
Oh, that's exactly what he needed, because I think he was going for the Wu Jinx line.
Yeah. Big hit there for Duel. You actually got the Lilia 3. We're going to see the Soraka 3 get picked up for 62nd. Ironbog is rolling and actually does find 2-star Wukong and Jinx, probably on the bench right there, hoping to be able to find those final copies.
He still has 17 rolls, but cannot get away with all of it. This is why I disagree with Robin's songs. APM does matter more than you would imagine.
It's not just Robin's song. don't bully him.
No, I'm not bullying. Robin.
It's
APM
interesting
does
that you
matter,
go
though.
for Robin, but you don't go for Bolton. Every time.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I was
We
like,
don't
hey,
need
wait a
to
minute,
go
there's
there.
another good example.
We don't even need to mention it.
5
Nice.
blue streak for Doyu. Tough pot here, only 29 HP. And 60 seconds start losing now again. So a little parity now in health for everyone.
Let's see, are we going to send all of them? I think the answer is going to be yes
One
here.
off.
How far can he get? Gets another Wukong.
I like the idea because normally you have full defense on Wukong, but because you don't have to ramp up, you don't have to scale, so the Wukong can be only someone else that helps you with the damage. So very different archetype here for the Wu Jinx.
Yeah, the items are not really correct, I would say. Unfortunately, he's not getting the perfect tank items. He has to preserve HP this round.
That was a nice hit, though. You got the Kog'Maw 3.
Oh, title, no. That's the monster I was talking about. The Hunter Briar. The 4 shapeshifter line, this is the max cap. He didn't hit any bows. Someone was already on Ujing, so he goes for the high-level version of the Hunter vertical.
Oh, that's disgusting.
How did he hit Briar 2 on... Oh, he had a duplicator. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
He's title.
Yeah, he's title.
He's just built different. No, yeah, you get the duplicator there from the prismatic.
So this changes the calculus for a lot of players here because you have to preserve HP. You're not beating title here. Every time you run into him, it's going to be over 13. How do you get your best board right now?
And that's a good question. We're going to get a little bit of a look at everybody here as the lower third does come in. And I don't think there's anything in this lobby that could stop title.
Yeah, everybody, for the most part, has hit what they want at this point. Ironbog is still missing a copy of Jinx to be able to get that Jinx 3, but Duoyu has finally hit the 3 stars for Lilia, Poppy, and Zoe to be able to help out with that RE3. Aaliyah has Cassiopeia 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cassiopeia plus
Syndra,
Yeah.
the
Cassiopeia.
Encantor line, yeah. Reroll.
That works out.
Vanguard,
I'm not
Cassiopeia.
too worried about Aaliyah. I am worried about Hang Hang and Bobster because I'm seeing a repeat
Yeah.
from game 1. We're once again holding hands on that way line, and I don't think that's a great spot to be in. But
It's not.
what's also not a great spot is not hitting your Syndra.
Bobster here also very low in HP and very far from hitting. So once again, the way line, not getting a 3-star, that's not the way you should. This is not where you want
That
to
is
be.
not the way.
That is not the way.
Oh, and he runs into the toughest board right here. A lot of times players will have to try and separate their carries, as Bobster has done here. So the Briar isn't onto your back line at the start of the fight. That's
Oh,
gonna be
she'll get
something.
there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my
She's gonna
god.
make her way. One after another, they will fall.
She's not dropping below half HP. That is honestly wild. That's why this Briar is so strong.
And this will be the Briar buffet because he can feed head so much. He's very high in life, 58 HP. So every turn, this can be the best Briar ever, ramping so much and being stronger. Maybe not. She doesn't have like ramping items for HP. She also has the Sterak, or even she doesn't have the Bloodthirster. So maybe not that important to feed her, Clement. You think?
Oh, we still have the remover.
Okay.
The idea in APAC is the magic number you want to feed her to is 17. So once stage 5 hits, there's no chance that you get knocked out in one round. In a spot like this that's so dominating, you feed her 100%.
You have a little bit of Omnivamp from the Hand of Justice, but you can still move the items around, especially when we look at getting anvils dropped. We're going to get a full item on stage 5, so it gets stronger. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think so. It changes a lot of the calculus. I think you have to preserve HP. You have to roll now. We see a lot of low gold players. I think because they don't want to run into title, they know it's inevitable at this point. It's about who can find the next spike and just hang on, not get eliminated.
Yes, exactly. And for Han, that's getting to Ezreal, trying to go for that power spike. Ezreal Kamikaze once again coming from the CM server. I love to see it, second time seeing it. I really wanted to perform. I don't want it to go 8th again.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to be great, but can you actually do it is the question for this Ezreal. First, it needs to come online. Something that has come online, though, is Aaliyah Syndra. However, we're kind of looking measly on those items there.
We can do a stat check on how many stacks the Syndra has acquired. Usually on stage 5, the high end you're looking at is 100 stacks. If everything goes perfectly, and we can kind of judge from there.
Also, we can move now the red buff. Normally now in late game, Syndra is AoE, so red buff will be amazing on her. Maybe we'll see that change now.
Well, our lovely observers letting us know that Syndra right now is sitting on 60 stacks.
Ooh.
So things have not gone particularly well.
Well, it took so long to find the Syndra 3. And on top of that, she's only been one item for most of this game. All those items did get moved over to the Cassiopeia because that was the 3-star that Elia hit first. But we've seen this a couple of times. That's why Syndra can be so hit or misses if you don't have enough stacks.
There it is.
Finally.
I mean,
Let's hope
you
he's
don't
not
have
running
a
into
whole
the
lot
Briar.
HP to work with here. Rolls into Aaliyah, arguably one of the weaker targets.
Can he get the right target? It does get the Syndra, but not that much HP.
Yeah, going against 3-star with the extra kamikaze, that's not the tech. Let's see if it's enough, either way.
Oh,
Good healing.
the Archangels.
Bonk, bonk. That's Mordekaiser.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. When you're playing the Ezreal, there's also a element of luck because you really want the Hodge to roll for extra damage. You're looking for the one shot.
Bobster back against the wall, 7 HP on the very bottom of the leaderboard. One of the 2 players that are
Title lost?
on a way line.
Title lost?
Title lost
on
the
board
62nd.
is capable of losing?
Charmed if?
Charm dish,
Possibly.
probably.
No, could be, could be.
A little bit of a tremor situation.
Yeah.
All
See
right.
that?
Lobster and Hong Hong 7 and 8th in HP right now. Who gets to salvage things?
Wait 3 for Buster, so there's a chance going off against the Wu Jinx. 3-star Wukong, 3-star Jinx there.
Iron Bog hit the Jinx finally.
Oh, the Ezreal, he jumped forward.
No! Ezra is down, so Han is down.
Dude, I want to love the Ezreal, but it's just so disappointing. And we're going to see a side-by-side elimination here. Hang and Bobster both not making it any further in this game 2 here.
So it's an 8th and a 7th for the Real Kamikaze. There's a multiverse when they both go, I don't know, 1st or 2nd, and then they try to adapt and they see people from America or other places
I'm
trying to
sorry.
go. Now,
No,
that's not
Jupe.
our world. I know.
It's got
It's
this like,
sad.
Sugarcraft feeling to me. It's fraudulent.
I gotta say, I feel like
Variants. This is variants.
Yes.
This is just variants.
the producers are recycling the storyline. Both of the blasters go out 7th and 8th. Milk gets away with the multi-striker line on 5th, celebrates for America.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
Max-
script writes itself.
On this chopping block, though, we do have Elia was finally able to carry some of these items over now that he has found a remover, but is it good enough? Goes up against Milk, and he needs this Syndra to hold her weight, because God knows this front line might not make it very long.
7 multi-striker, but is accessing the backline, so the Ashe falls down very early into the fight, and this will make the difference. So Elia will take the win against Milk, 20 HP, only 1 life left for him.
And that's exactly the player he needed to beat to close the gap.
What is that roll on that Capricious Forge? Everfrost plus Unending Despair, that's basically the best roll you can get.
We take those.
We do, we do. Taking a look at the lobby HP right now. Iron Bog now in 2nd place, and 62nd, we haven't talked about him, but he's actually quietly been able to beat Title and maybe win out like Bio did. This is the same script.
It's the Mage Vanguard diff. I think about maybe even the Tom Kench coming into play here. Imagine if that's 2-star, you're going to get so many stuns on the board, all those melee carries all of a sudden, maybe not so potent if you're able to stun them up a bunch.
I'm really astonished how many of these boards rely on Vanguards, and then somehow it's the Mage Vanguards that make it out on top. Like, what's going on there?
The
What's
Mage
the
diff.
secret tech? They just like the mages the most?
Seraphine! Seraphine has such good backline access. I feel like when you're looking at
Incredible.
blasters, you're looking at the other mages, you're looking at Ari and the Syndra reroll. Seraphine's just like, hello.
That's
Bye-bye.
the matchup I wanted to talk about. Mages is the high hand compared to Hui Bard lines, because Hui can't move, and you also can't access that line like they can.
Well, 2 more players that might be eliminated in this round here. Left-hand side, we're seeing Elia go up against Tidal, and that was a board that we thought would never lose ever again. It did, though, and Tidal is now also very low. Not gonna be beaten by Elia, though.
Yeah, also 1 life full Title. Mills falls off, so we have it there, and Elia is the one who falls down. So this is a good life once again for Title, so now we have confirmed our top 4.
Elia clawing that 5th place here, despite both of them being on 6 HP, just a minus HP mattering this much. Oh, I think we take this 5th place
good.
here.
I really want to check how much HP on this Briar there is. He's been feeding him non-stop, and honestly, most of this damage that Title has taken has been self-inflicted. He's still feeding at this point. He's going below the threshold.
Briar has a friend. That's a Yumi attached to this Briar.
Well, I sure hope she would have a friend, because she's massive, sitting at 1,620 HP right now.
Wow.
The additional.
1,000 additional HP. Wow,
That's
okay.
a lot.
That's truly a lot. Let's see. That's the counter for her. Doing any crowd control is enough. Going up against Gio de Galio. She wants to access the backline, so let's see if it's enough. She doesn't. It doesn't even matter.
No, I mean this is one of the biggest counters to Mage is some type of melee that can get into the back. So we're looking at Briar, we're looking maybe at Gwen or Fiora that can really get back there and nuke out those mages.
I will say a Briar like this one is probably the biggest counter to anything.
Did he Briar again?
He fed her again. So at this point, it doesn't really matter because you're on 4 HP anyway. So
Yeah,
so what's the difference between 4 and 7? You might as well feed her. I think we will see another one after that.
Yeah.
And he'll sit proudly at 1 HP.
This is important for Pick'em.
I was gonna say,
because-
do it for the pickup.
Oh, you're
So-
right.
Title's the
He feeds
pickup
one more
winner.
time, 1 HP.
I
and
said
takes the
0
win.
to 2.
You got it.
That was my
You put
window.
one- you put one
yeah,
HP?
I did.
Okay,
I did. Do it for me, the prediction queen.
Okay, there's a feeding. Show us the feed, Kyle.
One more.
I'm sure he'll do it.
Come on.
There's nothing
Title,
to lose
you
but
want
not
to.
do it.
He's
He'll
rolling first.
we'll get there.
Yeah,
Order of
he'll do it in
actions
the
is
end.
important.
He'll do it in the end.
Looking for the Nasus 2 as his only available upgrade here.
There
And
it
he
is.
finds
Olaf
it.
too.
There you go.
Olaf too would have been so big. That's what you were maybe looking for to try and add just a little bit of extra oomph to that board. Was not going to be able to find just that, but Nasus is going to be a great option. And in comes the feat.
1 HP and a dream title. Do it for the fans.
He has more than a dream. I'll just put it that way.
He's got the victory already. We're just the inevitability of it.
A big thing here, though, Duju has picked up Tremor, so that might actually throw a wrench into Title's plans as his board just gets constantly stunned here. One of arguably the strongest charms.
Ari
But
fight, yeah.
we do have the Briar that has the
Ascendancy is
Bloodthirster
there?
this time.
Oh, the Ari
Title
took her
gonna go
down.
out?
No way.
Title's going out.
He got Tremor diff.
Wow. Yeah, we just said it. The crowd control was the counter to the Ari, to the Briar, and so much power for the Ari. Single target takes down the Briar, takes down Title.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I think he should have saved some HP for that. At least not let his Briar be targeted first by the Ari. It was 2 hits, and then Edge of Night was already off.
You're never safe, is what I'm learning from this.
I honestly feel that was a pretty big misplay
Yeah.
on his side.
Well, you were saying that the threshold that they wait for is 17 HP. They
Yeah.
don't feed past that so that you do actually have an extra life. That's
Well,
charm diff.
We do have another update. She did went down with 4,886 HP.
So the monster can be taken down, and that's the proof. That's the power of Ari. That's why it's so prevalent to the meta. Any big tank, any big carry can be taken down. She's just so powerful.
I love that you're calling it the power of Ari when it clearly was the CC, Rupe, but I'll let you have that dream.
Well, I mean, Ari's doing it again, isn't she?
The stacking and the ascension, both of those late game power is just too much. Is there a way to go directly into the backline is going to be the question. 60 seconds does have that Seraphine, so he does have a chance to just snipe out the Ari with correct positioning.
You do have to worry about the other players that are left in the lobby. But I kind of wonder if you just set up the Seraphine regardless, because of the way that we actually do see this positioning from Ironbog, having the Kog'Maw and the Jinx in the center of the board, you are already going to be playing around the fact that that Seraphine is cornered.
Oh, he moves in the end.
Wow.
So, and he's in opposite position. So he baited the center and then places well, going into the Seraphine in the exact same spot. So great position.
It is a ghost, though, that 60 Second is playing.
On the left-hand side, it's not a ghost, it's Duyu coming on through. And that might be the end of the line for Ironbog as they face off here. It's going to come down to the wire. Can this Jinx clutch it out
more
against
shot.
the Ari that you were just raving on about, Rupe? She does it again.
Does it again. He's also the Giant Slayer. So many 3-star, the Giant Slayer gets so much value here, and she totally destroyed the rest of the comp. Now we have the final 2, 60 seconds, and Duoyu, so Cien, once again, they're trying to recover the Garden of Greatness, Clement.
I'm so happy. Like, I really need to see
Is this the
Cien
second
win.
dynasty?
Yeah, it's coming. It's
I
coming.
think
It's
so.
coming. It's not too early. Like, the CN fans are not going to be happy with just, 3 NCN players in top 8. You're the best region. That, to them, is just a normal Tuesday. They need the win.
I would just like to point out that there are 11 CN players that are in the Tactician's Crown.
Yep.
there could be 8 players that make it to the final lobby.
Oh, that'd be kind of sad, to be honest.
I would be sad. I just mathematically possible.
It's also mathematically possible to have 8 APAC players in there.
Yeah.
I'm
and
just
8
pointing
Americas.
it out.
And 8 EMEA.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
happen.
Oh, really good use of the dummies right here. Gonna act as targets for the Seraphine, but Seraphine actually auto-targets the Zoe first. And the Tahm Kench gets the knock. Those are huge things in the fight.
Good ulti from the Seraph going to the backline, but he isn't able to ramp up anything. Good. Oh, and he cleans it up. Now he's on the Poppy. Poppy has good item.
She
He
also
hasn't
has a
activated the
heal
threshold.
from the
Suspicious Poppy.
banana.
Wait. Is that suspicious Poppy? Maybe this is enough.
Oh,
no,
the
no,
Seraphine
no.
casts
She's
are
got it,
huge.
she's got it.
She's going for the dummy. She's going for the dummy.
No way!
Okay.
That was so close.
She feels like one of my AD carries in League of Legends, like no self-preservation.
I can't
I hit the
believe that.
turret. I hit the turret. Yeah, it's an important enemy. I don't care.
I'm going for plates.
Okay, we have a tower here for 60 seconds, so very strong, giving additional damage and also a little tankiness.
Oh, the tower is a big deal. If that fight was that close last time, the tower is one of those combat charms I feel like is a big difference maker. Could sway it in the direction of this Seraphine.
No charms on Dory here. He hit a Reforger, so it's not going to work.
Oh boy. Maybe positioning can be the difference maker. There's no dummies this time around for this Seraphine to get stuck on. Instead, you have to deal with this tower.
Ooh, some good first hits onto the enemy Ahri there by the Seraphine, but now it seems like she changed her mind. The Ahri free casting in the backline, and
Soraka
is
healed
getting
once?
access
No.
to both of these carries. It's all on whether or not Xerath can take these guys out.
Oh,
and
and
it's
the
not gonna
suspicious
happen.
Poppy! Once again, and now both of them one life, so this will be the final fight. Very close, and now will be the chance for Doju to actually get a charm.
Congrats to your pick'ems, by the way, everybody. If you got a winner on 0 to 2 HP.
It's gonna happen. Not with title. We thought different, but it is gonna happen in this lobby right here.
I think 60 Second does need to place his Blitzcrank right in front of his Soraka. What he was trying to be cute about sniping it out, but what happened was the Poppy went over the weak side of his front line, and Ahri went directly onto the back line.
Yes.
So he does need to align those. The best case scenario is he does get the align and the snipe, but that's going to be very difficult. We'll see if he can get it on both ends.
He's a little bit more gold to work with, though, too. We could try to roll for this TK2. That could be a big deal to make sure that you're going to get the extra stuns. And if you are so lucky, maybe you're able to get the Xerath, but it's about those combat charms. After you've been able to find something that you really like, you can roll.
Also interested double scaling, but no, he decides to reforge, and he gets the worst item probably in his comp.
Deathblade
Deathblade
Zoe!
Zoe.
Now, that's the tech right there. If Duo you wins with that, that's what we're going to be seeing on the
Guardbreaker,
servers.
amazing here for 60 seconds.
Question is the positioning correct? And that's all it's gonna come down to.
I think he's aligned right now, so it should be much harder for the Poppy to just walk into the back line. They're not going to get the backline snipe, and I do favor 60 Second a little bit here.
There's a big stun onto the Seraphine, though, so she hasn't been able to do as much damage as you'd like, but the Ahri's so low!
Poppy still
Second
hasn't
pops.
popped up the suspicious. Poppy still strong, there it is.
That's
Seraph
it.
alive, no damage now for Doju.
One more shot!
And the Ahri gets it.
The Ahri beats the Ahri! Congratulations.